So, you want more Spindle Spun adventures? Well, you are going to get more Spindle Spun adventures. On December 1st, Andrea Mowry and their friends started a 100 days of spindle spinning challenge. And you guys have been coming for me in my Instagram DMs. You know who you are. Now, while 100 days at first glance seems a bit excessive to my chaos brain, I'm going to first try and see if I can get 30 days of spindle spinning in, and then we'll see where we go from there. The first thing I'm going to do is empty my spindles from the projects that were already on there. And then I want to tackle this. This is all the fluff that we have dyed in 2023. Quite a mountain, right? Let's get to it. Let's make actually some kind of advent calendar for ourselves. Let's make some very colorful, very bright bird's nests that we can spin over this cold, dark month of December. I know, of course, spindles are not the high production yielding tools, and I have this mountain. I'm not going to spin all of this on my spindles. There will be some separate videos probably in the future where I will use some of this, but as I don't have real specific projects in mind for whatever I have dyed last year, why not just have some fun with it? Personally, I like, with whatever type of spinning I do, worsted prep, so combed fibers, the most. So let's do that. Let's make some blended bird's nests of all kind. Blending is of course most commonly done on a drum carder, hand carders or a blending board, but I find it just as easy on combs, and then I get the desired prep. 3 different shades of coatiness. I of course did not make an actual dent in my stash of dyed floofs, but this heap over here is looking really fun, and I'd much rather be spinning. Now that's a quote I want somewhere in my office. And also, just for funsies, I threw the comb ends on my drum carder, and I already did a little bit of drop spinning to see how that would look like. Pretty gosh darn gorgeous if you ask me. So yeah, I'm going to do some drop spinning as well. I've started with a green one because I'm seeing a lot of yellow in my future. And you know, I said that 100 days of spinning sounded a little bit excessive to my chaos goblin brain, but the other side of my chaos goblin brain is also thinking, spindle, sweater spin? But this heap of floofs makes me inspired to make one of those, you know, scrap knit sweaters, but then just all different floofs of spindle spun mini skeins. I completely forgot to mention yesterday that I actually already emptied this spindle. And here is our little skein. It's made with scraps because that is my toxic trait. I would rather spin scraps and make randomly blended stuff than actually use up the good stuff, even though I have 50 kilograms of good stuff. So before we start with our very fanciful and exciting new fluffs, let's first finish this spin. Maybe also because I want to use my support spindle for some of that. And maybe tilt the camera a little bit. I bought a spindle, by the way, I have not told you, on my very first fiber festival. I went to Dag van de Wol, so Day of the Wool, in the Netherlands on October 7th, the very first fiber festival I attended, and I grabbed me this beautiful hand turned hand carved support spindle. And I must say, maybe it is because I already had quite a bit of spindle spinning practice, but the learning curve on this one was not as steep as with my in-hand clasped spindles. This went pretty good right from the start. I might have gone a little bit overboard with this second cup. Let's see when we get to the plying. Yesterday I was mentally completely spent. So I chose to do some, I wouldn't say mindless, but at least easy drop spindle spinning to ease my mind. And now that my mental faculties have sufficiently recovered, I can go back to the support spindling. And I will fulfill a request today. I have had a couple of questions under videos, but also in Instagram DMs with the question, can you explain how you would ply on a spindle? We are in the plying phase, so if you're hearing weird noises, my husband is making Sinterklaas fudge, because today is December 6th. It is St. Nicholas Day. And St. Nicholas Day means a lot of candy, so he's working up all the candy into one nice little dessert. Anyway, let's get to the plying. So when I spun the singles, I spun them clockwise, and now I'm going to ply them counterclockwise. Plying is just plying, but maybe that is not what the questions were. But how do you manage the singles? In a previous video I have made a plying ball, so that means winding the two singles together in a ball. But for this time I tried something else. I put 1 cup on the skewer and 1 cup on a knitting needle. The skewer is a nice way, the knitting needle is too slippery, so I'm getting yarn barf. And I'm telling you, normal yarn barf is very unlikable. But spindle spun single yarn barf, oh my god, it's the worst. It's the worst. So yet again, this shows. You can ask me to explain stuff that I do, but I'm just a beginner like you as well. I'm just trying stuff. That's my secret. I just try stuff. I'm not afraid to do this. I just go. My brain is chaos and it says go! Do the thing! I'm doing very awkward stuff. I'm vlogging outside and there is actual people here. But that's not the only exciting thing we're doing today. No. Last month here in Hasselt, oh, look over here. That's my friends Mary and Jesus and Joseph. You know? Anyway, here in Hasselt last month, for the very first time, a crafting group got together. I was still in Spain at the time, but now that I'm back, we are going to craft. I'm very excited for this. So, let's go. I also just realized I'm filming this in a very Christmassy atmosphere, but of course when you are seeing this, it's already New Year. Oh my god, friends, Happy New Year! You know, I'm actually quite the introverted person, but with the right crowd. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm actually saying, or if this is at all interesting to you, but I'm now walking back to my car. See you tomorrow. And before we do our 15 minutes of spindle spinning, I think there is something you all are dying to see, aren't you? It's the Sinterklaas fudge my husband made. So it's speculaas, white chocolate fudge, black chocolate fudge, more speculaas, and then marzipan. It also looks like there is already a big chunk eaten, but that's a lie. I filled this tub with it to give to my mom and sister. Here you go. I knew that you were very, very curious about this. And while I was at the crafting gathering yesterday, I wouldn't say I filled up my spindle, but I finished the bird's nest. I'm going to do a second bird's nest on a second spindle, make a plying ball, and now we have, I don't know, a fun barber poled two-toned yarn. I think these two will look real neat together. What do you say? Is this a good color combination? It sparks joy, and that's what I'm needing right now. Now I say that I need joy right now, not because I am sad or anything, but I've I don't know, worked through my spoons, or I should say going to the crafting get-together while exciting and real fun. I spent all my spoons for today already, so I was not a functioning human at work today. And that coincided with it being a very stressful day. So I have been looking forward all day to this little moment of spinning and choosing a very bright fiber to do so. That was my 15 minutes for the day. See you tomorrow. I just had a pre-Christmas party with my friends and I'm... But you probably still want to see me spin today, right? Like, I have to do this every day. I can't skip a day because I'm tired. That's not how this works. Also, yesterday was a can't stop, won't stop spinning day. And we have gone from one finished mini skein to 5. I'm not going to repeat that today. I think that now before I go to bed, I might do a couple of minutes of drop spindle spinning just to ease in sleepy time, because it is 10 past 11 in the evening now. Friends, as you just saw yesterday's spin, that wasn't it. I think I saw when I was making the plying bracelet that my single like came undone, a bit like this on me. So I think that when I was spinning the single that I might have changed directions quite a couple of times and didn't consistently spin in one direction, which is like not even a rookie mistake. Like this is that's how I am going to go with the answer overwhelmed the brain. It sounds right. It just sounds right because I did the drop spindle spinning when I felt overwhelmed and wanted to do something easy. Well, it wasn't easy enough, it seems. It is today, once again, late, past my bedtime, but I still wanted to get some spinning in. 100 days of spinning is a great idea in a vacuum, but I'm having some practical issues with it. Time is not limitless, apparently. And a real nice Flemish sheep that is easy to draft. A good rhythm to unwind for the day. My forehead is very luminous. Before I go and start editing videos, forget what time it is. First, we are going to spin. I'm going to learn from previous evenings where I do all this stuff, forget the time, and then be like, ooh, I need to sleep, but I also need to spin. We're prioritizing the spinning today. No, actually, we're prioritizing the sleep today, so that I can go to sleep at a normal hour. First, we do the spinning. And what I want to do right now is, on Saturday, I spun this single of Shangora, and I also have this left over from my support spindle skein. Kiss! While your lips are still red. That's for the Nightwish fans. Let's make a little plying ball out of these two. I hope the Shangora single doesn't completely disintegrate on me, because it might. It's very short staple length, like 2-3 centimeters at max. So that needs a lot of twist. I did take my fast spindle for it. I don't know if that's enough. I have only spun Shangora on my double drive. It's a double drive wheel, my double drive wheel. I've only spun Shangora on my double drive wheel. But as of now, we're this far in the plying ball. The Shangora has yet to come apart on me, but I'm facing a different problem. My other single, the wool single that I'm going to ply it with, might not be enough. I am thinking that I might add the yellow that I was spinning yesterday. Okay, this yarn is bonkers. Ah, come on, will you just focus? Ah, this is so much fun. Proof that I actually do know how to ply on a spindle. And it's so fun. What's life without a little bit of experimenting with Shangora? Anyway, I'm going to edit some videos for you guys now. See you tomorrow. Boop. Hi. My husband has been away for the week. I am right now at the parking lot at the train station, waiting for him to come back home. So yeah, what to do when you wait? Spin some more! How dare this skein look this good? I just finished plying the two skeins that you saw me spin over. No, it's the two singles, it's their singles. I just finished plying the two singles that you saw me spun over the last 2 days, and who gave this skein the right to look this pretty? It was probably me, but I don't remember it. I'm sorry. You okay? You okay? So it seems like I have kind of neglected talking to you. So I'm double sorry. I have this on my spindle right now, but more importantly, this many skeins already. Although we're not talking about this one. This is a skein that must not be named. But these. It's like already another Edge of Twilight head amount of yarn. Today is day 20. Let's go. Day 21, and we have got another flying ball done. I'm having quite a lot of fun combining all the different colors and seeing how they look at the end. It is December 22nd, and we shall have to pivot our plans because I have worked my neck into a blockade. The pivoting shall consist of doing some drop spindle spinning, as I don't have to lift my arms above my shoulders that way. You know, I've been drafting like this the entire time, and now my neck is... I still have to come to terms with the fact that this body is no longer 29 years old, and I can't just do all the crafting shenanigans that I want anymore. So, at least this gives me a chance to take revenge on my last drop spindle spinning, you know, this cane that must not be named. Mis amigos, amigas and bandidas, I have a confession to make. Today is actually the 25th of December, which means, yeah, I did not spin on the 24th. But anyway, it is Christmas, you are going to forgive me. It's not about the numbers anyway. It is Christmas. I also quickly want to show you some suri alpaca yarn that I got from my husband. Did you get anything fiber related this Christmas? Let me know. And to make up for yesterday's loss, let's spin! Let's spin! I need to not raise my shoulders this high, because it's not good for the blockade that is still being very pesky in my neck. Now I find I actually had quite a good reason to not spin yesterday, and that is that my parents-in-law came over and I have been in the kitchen most of the day. You will be happy to hear that they did enjoy my food very much. And on Christmas Day, we have redeemed ourselves in drop spindle spinning. I knew I still got it! Now to prove to you, so as you noticed yesterday, I transferred back to support spindle spinning because actually no reason, I just wanted to. Is the blockade in my neck completely gone? No, but I am willing to risk it for a biscuit.
And now for all of your education and entertainment, here am I showing how I start support spindle spinning without a leader yarn. I just twist or, well, spin the fiber between my fingers so that I have a start, a bit of a single, tie it around my spindle and try to get it going. It doesn't always work from the very first time, but it works. It is magical.
Good morning, friends. It is December 31st. It is New Year's Eve, or well, it's not Eve, it's New Year's Eve's morning. Which means that the scope of this video, my month of spinning every day, is coming to an end. So in 31 days, we have created, if I'm still able to count correctly, 16 mini skeins of differing colors. But they are, however, complementary. Is that the right word? They fit together really well because they're all in the yellowish region. As I said in the beginning of the video, at first I thought 100 days was a little bit excessive, but now that I'm looking at these 16 mini skeins, that's not enough for what I want to accomplish with this spindle spun yarn. So, well, naturally, we will have to continue this series. There are some really fun skeins in there. I must, however, admit, in contrary to my previous spindle spinning exercising video, I do not see much of a progress that I made. This was the first one, and this is the last one, and they're both on a support spindle. Yeah, they're looking both equally as consistent. I have reached my peak of spindle spinning? I don't know, maybe. Before I started this endeavor, I had the idea of maybe doing it in a sort of a Vlogmas-like format. But I'm actually glad that I did not do that, because it's really hard to think about stuff to talk about every day for a month. Like, I'm not that interesting. So as you have noticed, there are a couple of days where I just only have video and no audio. So if you'd like to see me continue this series of the 100-day spindle spinning challenge, then maybe you could help me with that by suggesting topics in the comments where I can talk about in January and February. Because 100 days, we only did 1/3 of it now. 1/3. Are you grasping that? Oh, I'm not grasping that. That's more than 60 days. Ugh. Will my body be able to do that? That is another question. Because I have ventured to grabbing my in-hand spindle, my clasped spindle again. It is only a matter of time before my muscle will again. You know, looking at this box, it really makes me excited for knitting something wearable with this. Like I said, that I wanted a sweater quantity. I mean, a sweater quantity of this. How epic will that look? I'm not sure what pattern I would use. I was browsing my vintage magazines the other day, and I'm still not really bought on any pattern yet. If you have suggestions for that, they're also welcome in the comment section. And well, the elephant in the room is time. You know, this has taught me that there is so little time in a day. Carving out 15 minutes to spin on a spindle is sometimes really difficult. But I think it's really helpful to prioritize crafting that way, so that your day isn't just only filled with things from the workday and chores. Anyway guys, it is the 31st, so that means 2023 is ending. I am wishing you a happy, merry 2024, which will be, I don't know, already 2 weeks in swing when you see this. Here's to more adventures. And if you like this kind of fiber shenanigans, then maybe you could like, comment or subscribe. But of course, that is all up to you. If you like to see more spinning adventures, I can recommend this here playlist. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!